Intermission Monday. Man, it has been a hectic week the past week or so. We had a lot going on and really excited about all that. Want to tell y'all a little bit about what was going on last week. So we were getting prepped up for this past weekend. So over the weekend, we worked on 3 different homes. We did 2 wheelchair ramps and 1 yard cleanup, and just had an absolutely amazing time. Teamed up with some folks from Life Point that were working on one of their Serve Saturdays. Had some folks from Common Ground Church out, a couple other churches that were involved. So very excited to have all these folks come out. I think altogether, I think we had about 30 or 40 folks working this weekend and serving folks that were in need. So it was just really an incredible weekend. So the first ramp we did was for Miss Dawkins. She's going through some situations with some medical conditions and everything, and over the past couple of years, hasn't been able to get around as well. Is now in a motorized wheelchair, and so she was really excited because this is the first time in 2 years that she was actually able to leave her house on her own without having to either get carried out or shimmy down the steps and have her husband try to get the wheelchair out the door and stuff like that. So it's definitely a blessing for their lives to be able to have that wheelchair ramp in place, and it was fun to work with them. She loved to talk to us, and she was out there the whole time as they were putting the deck boards on the ramp going down. She was right there in the chair just coming on down with it, so it was really cool to see that. And then the other ramp that we did was for a lady out in a little further out in Spotsy, and she's actually lived in this house for 70 years. Grew up on the farm that's right across the street. Been going to the same church that's right down the road for her whole life. So it was really cool to meet her and to get this ramp done for her. She's in a situation just from age and abilities and everything, she just wasn't able to navigate the steps. It was only a couple steps out of her house. It was a little bit smaller of a ramp, but it was definitely a blessing to be able to set that up for her so that she can get out of her house. The other project we did was, like I said, the yard cleanup project. That was for Miss Barb, and she's just in a situation. She got a nice house and everything, and got a nice landscape area and some beautiful trees in her front yard. But she's just in a situation where, due to some medical conditions, she physically can't work outside, and so she has to stay inside due to her lung issues and everything. And so the yard was overgrown. There was like little sapling trees growing up in the gutters on her house. Her husband passed away a few years ago, and he used to take care of that sort of stuff. And so we were able to clean out the gutters in the house, clean up the yard, get all the leaves and stuff raked, weed out the flower beds, put down mulch, get it looking nice for her. And of course, get those gutters cleaned out is very important because that can obviously cause damage to the home. So being able to get that done up was great. But just really an awesome weekend, being able to bless some families and help out with some chores around the house and help out those wheelchair ramps, everything. It's always a blessing. And as you can see back here, we've got another. This was just donated. So these pieces. Well, there we go. These pieces here and over here are parts of a aluminum wheelchair ramp that was donated. Some folks were selling their home and moving and no longer needed a wheelchair ramp, so they donated that to us. Definitely appreciate that. We also, for those 2 wheelchair ramp projects this past weekend, I want to say thank you to ABC Supply. They gave us a great deal on the materials, plus delivered the material for free, which is a huge benefit to us, because that way, we're not running around trying to get all the materials together and get them out to the site and everything. So it definitely saves us some time. So definitely appreciate those guys over there taking care of that for us. In the next couple of weeks, we have a lot of stuff coming up as well. On the 24th, which is a Tuesday, we're having our next leadership training. That's going to be out in King George at Round Hill Baptist Church. And this is an opportunity for you to come and learn, how to be a project leader. Like these families I just mentioned that we were serving, there was a project leader in charge of each one of those projects. And we need these project leaders because we get a lot of requests coming in, and we have to have a lot of people that are able to take on projects and complete them. And so the project leader is a really very important volunteer position within 516 Project. And so this leadership training is going to give you all the kind of background information, all the tools you need to be successful as a project leader. The really cool thing about it, you don't necessarily have to be the brains of the operation as far as the actual work. So let's say you have no idea how to build a wheelchair ramp, but you think, hey, I really feel called to be a project leader. That's okay. One, there are a lot of projects we get that aren't high skill level projects. And two, even if you do decide, hey, I want to take on this project and be the leader on it, we can always team up with somebody who has that skill set to be able to do the carpentry or the plumbing or whatever it might be that involves in that particular project. So I would encourage you, if you at all feel called to be a leader within 516 Project, I would definitely encourage you to check out this training. Like I said, it's going to be the 24th out in King George at Round Hill Baptist Church. We're going to have dinner, so get dinner out the deal and check it out. We'll have some more that are in different localities as well. I'm going to be doing one again here in Fredericksburg pretty soon, and trying to get one set up down in Caroline very soon as well. So if King George is a little bit too far a drive for you, just keep up with us, and there'll be another one coming up soon. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, so as we're coming up toward year end, we are going to start having some stuff coming out about some sponsorships and things that are available for the 2020 calendar year. So if you own a business, or if you're involved in a business that does sponsorships, please also keep up to date and keep watching and see what is coming up with those. Those are going to be coming out here pretty soon, as far as the sponsorship availability for 2020. There was something else I wanted to mention, and I thought I had my notes taped over here. But no, hey, thank you all for following along. Like I said, please continue to pray for these 3 families that we served this past weekend. Our prayer team is going to be going out over the next week or so and meeting with them. That's another really cool thing that I know I've mentioned it before, but we want to make sure that our focus is on ministry and on sharing the love of Jesus with these families that we serve. And so one of the things that we do after the work is done and we've done the repair or built the ramp or whatever we're doing at the home, we have a group that goes out, and their whole purpose is just to love on the family. So they go out, they take a little goodie bag, typically has maybe some fresh made bread in it, has a Bible in it, a couple other little things. And that's given to the family. And then those folks just take some time to sit there and pray with them, talk to them, learn a little bit more about about their life and everything. And it's just a really great time to be able to not have to worry about the nails and the hammers and everything going on, and the noise of a bunch of people working. Just to really sit down and focus on sharing the gospel, sharing that fellowship with these folks, and really being able to love on them. So keep those folks in your prayers as they're going around. And like I said, keep the families that we've served in your prayers as they are continuing on in their life, and that hopefully these things that we've been able to do for them has blessed them and given them a little bit more freedom in their lives. But as always, if you want to get involved, 3 easy ways. Pray. Definitely, we need your prayers for us, for our volunteers, for the folks we're serving. Any way that you can wrap that up in prayer, we would definitely greatly appreciate it. Volunteer. Jump on the website, 516project.org. There's a volunteer link on there. You can fill out a little form, give us some information, and you'll start getting updates via text and email of what's coming up. As far as volunteer opportunities. There's also going to be, we just made some updates to the website, and so there's going to be a calendar on there that's going to start having some of the events that are coming up. So we're working on getting that loaded right now. The update is there, and the calendar exists, but there's nothing on it yet. So we're working on getting all that stuff loaded on there. And then the other thing is to donate. You can also do that via the website, 516project.org. There's a little donate tab up there, and you can select what amount you want to do, and if you want to do it monthly or as a one-time thing. I'll tell you, we really appreciate the monthly donors. Let me take that back. We appreciate everybody that donates, and definitely that makes a huge difference. But from a budgeting standpoint, the monthly donations are really nice because that kind of gives us an idea of what's coming each month, so that we know how to plan. And as these project requests are coming in, we know how to plan for those projects based on what funding we know we have coming in. But hey, really appreciate everybody following along, and we'll see you next Monday for another Mission Monday.